welcome to Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town. We are making the rounds again, as my colleagues are as well. And as you heard from my colleague in Johannesburg, Cape Town is following more or less the same trajectory as what he explained there. It's been quiet yesterday at this particular registration point where we are. 60 people came through, and the majority came to make sure that they are on the voters' roll. We heard the same from officials, that it was very quiet with the previous election registration weekend, sorry for that, on the Saturday, but on the Sunday it picked up immensely. So there is hopes that more people will make their way here today, either to register for the first time, to register if you over 18 and not done it before, change your address, check if you're on the voters' roll. All these things are vitally important to make sure that you can come and make your mark. Even if you feel a certain way about voting, it is better to be registered and be able to cast a vote if you do decide to do so. It is your democratic right to vote and not to, if you choose to. But there's certainly an encouragement from the IEC that people do make sure that they are on that voters' roll. It is very, very critical to ensure that you are. It was peaceful across the Western Cape. Of course, there was some flooding in a number of areas across the province, and the IEC managed this time around to open all its registration points where people could go to make sure that they are on the voters' roll. At this particular point, as I said, 60 people came to register. Incident-free, it was calm. Everywhere we saw both the Metro Police from the city side, the SABC at every voting station that we went to. So it's certainly safe for people to come to these registration points, even in areas like Mitchell's Plain, which is known to be a violent area, certain areas of Mitchell's Plain, where gang violence is rife, where it is dangerous for people to move about if they don't know where they are and what they're doing. It is certainly safe to come to a registration point to come ensure that you are, on the all-important voters' roll. People might not fully get, as I heard from my colleagues as well, many people don't really understand. This election is literally about what happens in your street, right down to street level. What are the services you are getting or not getting? So that is why it is important for people to come through. And we are also chatting to people, as my other colleagues did, explaining to many of them why it is important to make sure that you can cast your ballot on the 4th of November. So doing a little bit of education ourselves as well, because it is vital that people understand why it's important to vote. And this election is literally about who will govern in your area, who will govern in your metro, and it is right down to the things that affect you in your street. So we're hoping to see more people coming through today, and hopefully we can chat to more of them as they come through. We managed to speak to one person yesterday who said that certainly for him it is important to be on that voters' roll, and he will cast his vote come the 4th of November, and he will base his decisions on what happens in his area.